الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره نعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبد الله ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد، أيها المسلمون، اتقوا الله حق التقوى واعلموا أن الحياة قليل والآخرة خير وأبقى. قال تعالى: قل متاع الدنيا قليل والآخرة خير لمن اتقى ولا تظلمون فتيلا. ثم قال: أينما تكونوا يدرككم الموت ولو كنتم في بروج مشيدة. My brothers, Allah has created us so that we worship Him alone, Jalla wa Ala. He created our father Adam with his own two hands. He taught him how to worship Him. He taught him how to be obedient, and He gave him favors after favors. But the true nature of man became apparent. Our father Adam alayhi salam made a mistake, and because of this mistake he was taken out of Jannah, where there were no minutes and there were no hours and there were no days and there were no years, and put into an earth full of minutes, full of hours, full of days and full of years. Allah says, قُلْ نَهْبِطُوا مِنْهَا جَمِيعًا, all of you leave Jannah. فَإِمَّا يَأْتِيَنَّكُمْ مِنِّي هُدًى, if a hidayah from me comes to you, فَمَنْ تَبِعَ هُدَايَ, and then follows it, فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ, they will have no reason to be scared, and they will have no reason to be sad about their stay, their temporary stay in the dunya. And it's the nature of the dunya, my brothers, that people continuously look back, and they often look back with regret and wish. We look back our childhood years and we call them the good old days. People take pictures to keep those memories of the past. People celebrate an event that happened many, many years ago, and they call it an anniversary. All of this teaches us, my brothers, that humans, they want to cling on to the dunya. And as every day goes past, they become even more regretful that they've lost that day. But despite this, my brothers, what is strange is that humans also, with this regret, they celebrate as time goes on. They have a day when everybody gets older, they want to celebrate. Or when a new year begins, they want to have a festival. Allah says in the Quran, وَكَأَيٍّ مِّنْ آيَةٍ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. There are so many signs in the heavens and the earth, يُمُرُّونَ عَلَيْهَا, that go us continuously, that come by us, وَهُمْ أَنْهَا مُعْرِضُونَ. Yet man was being placed on this earth negligent. Imam al-Baghawi, Imam from the Mufassirun, said about this ayah, every single day and every single night we go past signs to know that Allah is real, to know that our time here is temporary, but most people don't think about them. Most people don't want to take any lessons from it. This ayah, my brothers and sisters, shows us that our enemy, our sworn enemy who doesn't want us to live in peace, our sworn enemy who doesn't want us to go to Jannah, can overcome us through our negligence. Yes, my brothers, the more negligent we are, the more overpowered we are by our enemy. And if you think about our daily lives, Allah Jalla wa Ala is giving us a sign from the very moment that you were born. When you were a child, and when we have children, when we are young, we cannot defend ourselves and we cannot help ourselves. We need other people's help all the time. In eating, we can't be fed. In drinking, we can't be fed. We can't be given a drink by ourselves. When we were young, we couldn't sleep by ourselves. We couldn't clothe ourselves. We couldn't wash ourselves. We couldn't even go to the bathroom by ourselves. We needed somebody's help. But despite that, my brothers, whenever we made a mistake and whenever our children make mistakes, we overlook them and we pardon them. And we say he is only little. He is still learning. Yes, he has impurities on his body, but he is pardoned. Yes, he doesn't know how to eat properly, but we will help him. This is when he was young. But what is unfortunate is Iblis wants that immaturity to continue. And the way he does that is he makes us negligent. So how bad is it that some people become grown adults and the impurities in their life are worse than impurities than a toddler? His life is full of impurities. The way he wears his clothes, the way and the food that he chooses to eat, the way he gains his rizq, either by riba or stealing or taking other people's property unjustly. But what's worse, and what can never be pardoned with Allah Jalla wa Ala, is they make their iman and their tawheed impure also. They pollute it with weakness and they pollute it with shirk. And all of this comes about because of our own negligence and our own weakness. Allah says in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ ذَرَأْنَا لِجَهَنَّمَ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ. The hellfire is full of levels upon levels of humans and jinn. This is what Allah has decreed. But why? لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا. They have hearts, they have brains, they have intelligence, but they don't use that intelligence. وَلَهُمْ أَعْيُنْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا. They have eyes, but they don't use those eyes to contemplate. وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا. They have ears, they have been given the sense to hear, but they don't use that will benefit them. أُولَٰئِكَ كَالْأَنْعَامِ. These people want to eat and drink and fulfill their desires just like animals do. بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ. Such people are even further astray than animals. But why? Allah finishes the ayah with something which is very important. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْغَافِلُونَ. These people are negligent. Yes, my brothers, the level of negligence exposes us to our enemy. Our hearing, in our seeing, in our thoughts, in our statements, in our actions. Shaitan wants you to be deceived. Shaitan wants you to be corrupted. And this happens when we become negligent. My brothers, ever since our father Adam alayhi salam came down, Iblis's mission has been to make us become even more negligent with the most despicable of deceptions and the most dirtiest of tricks. Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah said, there are two things which prevent a person from understanding and removing negligence from him. Number one, he just wants to fill his desires. That is his only purpose in life. And number two, he has no indication of where he came from and where he wants to go. Unfortunately, my brothers, a new year is coming and time is going fast, even faster. More and more generations are being brought into the dunya. But despite that, more and more humans are becoming even more negligent. The Prophet ﷺ described that this is actually a sign of the times, that the earth will be filled with people and time will go past very quickly. Yet, humans will become even more negligent. Yet, the more forward we think we are going, the more we are actually falling into jahiliyyah, some of it even worse than the time when the Prophet ﷺ came. Iblis wants to leave you and your worshipping of Allah. Therefore the presence of kufr will become even more apparent. The Prophet ﷺ said, Badiru bil a'mal, hasten to do good deeds before a fitna, qaqit' al-layli mudlima, comes. A fitna, a disruption, a corruption, an oppression, a darkness which is even more darker than the darkest part of the night will befall this ummah. What will happen? There will be confusion. The Prophet ﷺ went on to say, يُصْبِحُ الرَّجُلُ مُؤْمِنًا وَيُمْسِي كَافِرًا. A Muslim will start off as being a Muslim in the morning, but by the end of the night, because of the level of corruption, because of the level of negligence, because of the level of sin, he will go to sleep as a disbeliever. Or yumsi mu'minun wa yusbih kafir. He comes out in the evening as a mu'min, but by morning he is a disbeliever. Why? يُبِيعُ دِينَهُ بِأَرَدٍ مِّنَ الدُّنْيَا. He will sacrifice and sell his religion in order for him to be negligent in the dunya. The Prophet ﷺ also said, لا تقوم الساعة, the hour, the day of judgment will not be established حتى يقبض العلم, until ilm is taken away, until people become ignorant, until people become negligent. وتكثر الزلزال, natural disasters will increase. ويتقارب الزمان, time will pass very, very quickly. ويظهر الفتن, discord, disunity, injustice, corruption will fill the earth. ويكثر الحرج وهو القتل. Many people will be killed innocently, unjustly, all over the earth. وحتى يكثر فيكم المال فيفيد. And people will actually become richer. People will have even more prosperity, but they will not know how to use it. These are the times that the Prophet ﷺ has described. Ibn Hajar rahimahullah said, time will pass by quicker. A month, a year will feel like a month. Despite the many provisions that will be spread across the earth, there will be a lot of fitna. Things will become dubious. People will not care as to what is right and what is wrong. There won't be any barakah in our wealth. There won't be any barakah in our food. There won't be barakah in our time. And none of this will increase a person in iman. If the brothers can move forward a bit, please. So the brothers can make space in the back. My brothers, the hour is close. And the Prophet ﷺ has told us that fitna will spread because of our negligence. But this Prophet, who was also a warner, was also the one who came with glad tidings. He told us that the way we can remove negligence from ourselves, if we make our iman stronger, if we lessen our attachment to the dunya and increase our attachment to the akhirah, if we try to increase in our taqwa, if we ponder on the greatness of Allah and the message that He has given us in the Quran, if we realize that there is an unseen as well as the seen, we will become better in the seen because our iman in the unseen. we will realize that there is a reward and a punishment that is waiting for every single one of us. We will realize that there is going to be a day that we will be questioned, a day which is 50,000 years long. إن في ذلك لذكرى لمن كان له قلب أو ألقى السمع وهو شهيد. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن والسنة. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله ما بعد. My brothers and sisters, have taqwa of Allah, and taqwa means that we remove negligence from ourselves. We know what is good and we seek the reward from Allah. And taqwa also means that we know what is bad and we remove negligence about what is bad from ourselves, and we stay away from what Allah has told us to stay away from, fearing a punishment from Allah. My brothers, if we look at the Islamic calendar, it has been placed which prepares us for worship all year round. Ibn Rajab al-Hanbali rahimahullah said, the Islamic calendar ends with Dhul Hijjah, which is a month which the Hajj is prescribed, and in it are the most best acts of worship a person can do throughout the year. Then the next month is the beginning of the Islamic calendar, which is Al-Muharram. And in Muharram, fasting and praying and all kinds of good deeds are also legislated. Both of these months have a day which we are prescribed to fast, Arafah and Ashura. Both of these days have an expiation. And now, if we look at the Islamic calendar, we are only 4 months away from the month of Ramadan. Ibn Rajab rahimahullah is telling us that throughout the Islamic calendar, Allah Jalla wa Ala has emphasized worship. But what's unfortunate is that many Muslims have become negligent as time goes on. Many people are not bothered about the Islamic calendar. They are not bothered about the days that go past, and they are happy and content with being negligent and having weak iman. Some people only ask about good deeds when there is an occasion. In Ramadan, my brother, what do we do? In Hajj, how do I perform it? And for the rest of the calendar, they remain negligent and not concerned. My question, my brothers, how can a person be guided? How can a person have tawfiq from Allah when he is negligent all year round? When it is Laylatul Qadr, instead of having tawfiq from Allah to pray and make dua, make dhikr, and remember Allah, we find many people being content with socializing and spending time on their phones, all of which because all year round they were negligent. Allah says in the Quran, أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ تَبَعَ اللَّهُ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ وَسَمْعِهِمْ وَأَبْصَارِهِمْ. Such people who are negligent, Allah has put a seal over their hearts, over their hearing, over their sight. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْغَافِلُونَ. These people are like this because of their negligence. My brothers, most people are negligent in the seen, in the dunya that we see. But when the unseen hits them, they are confused. When they are about to pass away, they don't know what to do. When a family member passes away, they become depressed and they don't know what to do. This is only because we have become negligent in the seen and not had firm iman and yaqeen in the unseen. Allah says in the Quran, وَنُذِيقَنَّهُمْ مِنَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَدْنَى دُونَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَكْبَرِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. This is a test, and Allah gives this out of His mercy for you, so that you can remove the negligence from yourself. Allah causes difficulties. Allah causes people to pass away around us. Allah causes people to go through hardships around us, so that we ourselves can remove negligence and take heed. Whoever Allah wants good for will see and become upright and remove that negligence from themselves and make tawbah to Allah. But whoever Allah doesn't want good for, then they will remain in their negligence and far astray from the remembrance of Allah. هذا صلوا وسلموا على رسولكم. قال تعالى إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم وزد وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداء الدين. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. اللهم اصلح نياتنا وذرياتنا يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث. أصلح لنا شؤوننا كله ولا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين. اللهم انصرهم في إندونيسيا، اللهم انصرهم في بورما وفي كل مكان. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. عباد الله، اذكروا الله يذكركم واشكروا